tutorial on how to create a visual outline, I first want to start with where you can come up with your slides. You can use a template. Here I've got Microsoft PowerPoint. You have tons of themes here. You can also search for one. Personally, I find the Microsoft ones to be a little basic, if you will. Here on slidesgo.com, you can download free templates, any theme that you want. You can search them here. There's free ones, and then there's also ones that you have to pay for. I would highly recommend the free ones, of course. I'm going to go through the education ones. I typically like these. These come with a variety of slides. I'm just going to pick a random one here. And you can see when you download the template that you are able to put it into Google Slides or PowerPoint. And sometimes you can even pick the color, whichever one that you like. See that the little colors are changing here. And it also gives you a 16:9 choice, a 4:3 in terms of size. So I'm just going to pick this one. I'm going to add it to my Google Slides. This is typically what I do. If you want to put it in the PowerPoint, if that's easier for you, just know that some of the format will change. It is better to have this download via Google Slides. So it's going to have you copy the document. Just make a copy, add it to your account. I'm going to ask you where it wants to be. I just put it here, which is in the week 13 folder. And once you open it up, every single slide is set up for you. Now, of course, we're working on an outline. So I'm, of course, going to want a different title here. I'm going to put week 13 assignment outline presentation and my initials. Okay, and then here I'm going to have my creative title. So if I'm doing my outline on the house on Mango Street, I'm going to put paper outline for Mango Street. It can be just like that. Now, according to your format, let's say I'm doing MLA. I'm going to put my name. I'm going to put my instructor's name, which is me, but we're just going to do that. I'm going to put ELA or English 101, whatever it might be. My date, not dare. Okay, that's the format for the title slide. You must have a title slide that is described in the directions. Just for me personally, I like to have a little table of contents when it comes to literally everything that I do. So my overview is also going to be known as the introduction. And my features of the topic, that's going to be my subtopics, whatever that might be. And then I'm going to also have my support or my evidence. And at the end, of course, my conclusion and resources or references. Now, of course, we're doing MLA, so let me put works cited as appropriate. Now, you can delete slides, just click the delete button. I don't want that one. My introduction, now with a presentation, I don't like having so many words like it did just now, okay? I would say maximum 2 to 3 sentences per slide. Nobody wants to read all of this stuff and a full slide of words, okay? It's not visually appealing and it's not in good taste, okay? So my introduction, I'm going to have a sentence about my text that I've chosen, and I'm also going to have a sentence about what my thoughts are about the main topic of this source or this text. Okay, that's going to be my introduction. I also would like your thesis, but your thesis is pretty much what would be mentioned up here. So it could be one sentence, it could be two, depending on how that looks for you. You can introduce your quotes like this. On some slides, they have them set up for you where you can put things like that. I will allow photos. However, you must have what I'm asking for in the directions. So we'll take a look at that right now just to kind of, now this is your written outline, but in your directions are going to be mentioned here in part 3 for the presentation. So of course, I want you to mention the name of the book that you've selected for your research. That's going to be introduced in your thesis in your introduction slide. I need the citation style to be followed on the title page as well as the resources page and whatever in-text citation you might be making. 3 of the resources that are included in your annotated bibliography must be mentioned or quoted in your presentation, and that'll be in your bibliography slide. You must have a title and bibliography slide, non-negotiable. Let me go back to my slides. So let's just say this is my first 3 slides, what my show is actually going to look like, my presentation. I kind of like this here. These presets, templates already have words in them just to show you what this is. So my features of the topic, my subtopic, so I'm going to put subtopic 1. Now obviously you're going to be more specific, so if I'm talking about the house on Mango Street, I'm going to put that I'm talking about the main character. Lengthen that a little bit. I'm going to talk about the setting and then family. Okay, now here I'm going to have one sentence written in my own words, and then I'm going to have my quotes. And that would be kind of the same thing there. Then if I want to kind of elaborate more on these, I'll add a little bit more here if need be. This slideshow shouldn't be more than a good 5, maybe 7 slides, including your title and your bibliography. Okay, now I will say that when you do your references slide or your bibliography or your works cited, depends what it's called, depending on your format that you've chosen. So let's just say I bring this up here. So my works cited. Okay, now just keep in mind your hanging indentations might not work just because these presentations have a very weird format here. So don't get freaked out if you can't format your hanging indentations in your slides, or whether you choose to do them on Google Slides or on PowerPoint. If you cannot, for whatever reason, format your hanging indentations, I will not dock points off of it, okay? I am well aware that sometimes it doesn't work. If you figure it out and it ends up working, wonderful. But just know that you will not be docked points if it won't format correctly, okay? Now, this is just an example of a visual that you can do. These are some 2 options here. We have our Google Slides and we have our PowerPoint option as well. You can export this. Okay, so if I'm going to create it into a video, I would export it. I'm not sure how to export through Google Slides, but when you do export through PowerPoint, it does give you the option with an MP4 file, which is a video file, or you can even make it an iMovie if you so wish. That is perfectly fine, just as long as it has all of these elements, that I am asking for in the presentation here. So if you want to make a short video, that is perfectly fine. Does not matter to me. Again, as long as you have all of this, it's a-okay. All right, this is the end of a very brief tutorial on how you can create your paper outline for your selected text. See you in class.